It was in the middle of the night, but I was wide awake. Like, I was literally wide awake. My eyes were open, but I could now feel this presence, this evil presence behind me. Lying on my side, like on my left side. I'm a side sleeper. And then the door is behind me. And then I could feel the presence just right behind me. And I remember just wanting to move and turn around, but I could not lift a finger. Again, I was just frozen, utterly in terror. And it was if I could describe what death would feel like, and it's a kind of horror that is worse than like in the movies. It's an icy cold, kind of dark, evil, something's in the room and it's watching me. That's the scary part, that you feel a sense that it's watching you. And it's making you feel afraid. And it wants you to feel afraid.
I was a year and a half old probably. And I was born and raised in rural Vermont, in an old farmhouse, about 100 plus years old, and I was in the middle of the woods. So it was very dark and very quiet, just pitch silence, which, itself kind of has a sound. So here I am, I'm a baby. I wake up and I can't move. I'm in my crib. And, so I'm surrounded by the bars of the crib on all sides. And above me, at the end of the crib, before the window, are two anthropomorphic kind of beings, I guess. Best word to describe them. I still remember them vividly. It's actually my first memory. So in a way, it's kind of my awakening into the world.
Dark.
They always just look so cartoony. I've tried to draw them before and it just looks like so goofy.
It just doesn't have the same malevolent impact.
And their skin was like television static. It had, like an old TV, when the signals, when you're not getting a good signal, it had that same kind of texture, that kind of They were tall, kind of thin, these kind of thin limbs and these long fingers. And they had these very simple faces, almost cartoonish faces of, these two inky eyes and this big inky smile on their face. This kind of,
It's tickling fingers. These like long, slender. They were laughing, and then here's my little feet,
They were tickling me. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move and I couldn't stop them. And they were laughing about it. There was kind of like laughter, like, ha ha ha, like there, And bars, these two anthropomorphic things, the windows. According to my parents, but I kept on repeating the word Zines, like Zines, over and over again in like kind of a panic, like kind of like signs, like hanging on to them. And so maybe as a child, seeing these kind of anthropomorphic, sort of not human, but human, so I wouldn't sleep in my crib again. My parents tried to put me in my crib, and I just wouldn't do it. I would just scream and scream and scream and scream and scream. I made this as a Halloween costume some years ago. Now you're staring into my childhood right now. I don't know, is it scary?